the microphone. Guys, we are back. My goodness, welcome. Thank you all. You know, when I see the chat flying, I know something's up. It's a live stream, so you know there might be some technical difficulties. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing it. Like I was saying, when I was a kid, we did Saturday morning cartoons. Now we're doing Saturday morning 3D live streams, guys. Thanks for joining me. If you can hear me, if you can see me, give me that thumbs up, guys. Thank you so much. This is going to be a very, very exciting stream. Man, I put like a solid day or two into figuring out how to get this Himalayan salt rock texture to look right. We're gonna jump into this pretty soon here, but man, I'm very proud of how this turned out. It's all you know, mostly minus the rock texture, which we're gonna switch out for some noise. It's all PBR, so very, very cool stuff. I want to walk you guys through my process. It's a pretty you know, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult. It's just this little setup here. If you guys are using Blender, follow along with me. It's gonna be fun, I promise. So yeah, we're gonna build out this Himalayan salt rock texture from what I have, what I just showed you guys, and I'm gonna try and make it even better here on the live stream for you guys. So I'm very excited. Thank you. Hey, for all of you guys who are joining for the first time, welcome. It's good to see you guys. And for all of you guys who are returning, thank you for coming back. Thanks for joining me on a Saturday and learning with me, guys. The whole point of this channel right now is to learn and grow together in our passions and creative endeavors. So before we get into it, guys, I got a very exciting little company that hit me up, and I've worked with them twice now. This is the second time. They're super cool, and I think that they can help you guys out if you don't have a supercomputer, if you need to find a computer, a cloud computer, perhaps, to get some renders going. So we're going to take a look at the sponsor today, and we're going to hop into it, guys. Let's do it. Today's live stream is brought to you by Vagan.io, who provides personal cloud computers that can run any software at varying levels of computing power for artists just like you guys. Vagan's had some really cool upgrades since the last time I showed them off, so let me show you guys all the cool new stuff. First off, if you guys use the promo code VaganFriends21, you'll get free usage for all their different options. Here you can quickly select the programs you'd like to pre-install on your Vagan computer, and if your program of choice isn't here, don't worry, it can be downloaded once you boot your Vagan PC. From here, you guys are met with your personal dashboard, where you can choose which computer you'd like to boot. Let's go ahead and select the cheapest performance option. It's called Planet. Boom. Let's run this bad boy. Once you guys connect, you can see that our pre-selected software is downloaded and ready to use. But do not stop here. Download and install whatever you guys want for your projects. This computer is yours and yours alone. It's freaking awesome. So, how do you get your personal files onto your Vagan computer? Let me show you guys how easy they've made this. Let's go back to the dashboard to access the Files tab on the left. Here we can drag and drop files from our personal computer. Click Send to Vagan, and we're good to go, even if your Vagan computer isn't running. So let's hop back in and take a look. And our files are in the Files folder, ready to use. Or if you guys would prefer to just drag and drop straight from your PC to your Vagan desktop, that's possible too. Now let's go ahead and open this file and make some adjustments. You guys might recognize this model from one of my previous videos. Let's go ahead and duplicate it a couple times here. Let's get some new colors on these guys too. So from here, I'll save, shut down, and render this from the beefiest computer that Vagan has. They call it Galaxy. This thing is super quick. It's got 48 cores, 4 graphics cards with 16 gigabytes of VRAM, and 192 gigabytes of RAM. Now let's run this computer and open up our C4D file. From here, all we have to do is hit render. Sweet. It's looking super nice. I'm really happy with this. So let's navigate to our Vagan desktop and send it to our personal computer. And it's as easy as that, guys. Seamless integration between your computer and all of theirs. So if you guys want to get started with your first supercomputer or want to supplement your current PC, this is the best option I can possibly think of. So get your free cloud computer by going to Vagan.io and using the VaganFriends21 promo code to get started. Guys, so shout outs to Vagan for hooking it up on the stream. And yes, one of y'all noticed, I try to work with companies that are relevant to you guys that can help y'all out on your CG journey. So Shout outs to Vegan. They're really cool. They provide a really cool service. So definitely click that link in the description below. Get that free trial of Vegan and get a supercomputer going. It's pretty sweet. Give it a shot. It's really fun. So guys, we're gonna jump into it here. We have a Himalayan salt rock texture. I got two on my desk. All right, I got two on the side of me here, and they are. It's tough. It was tough. This took me some time to figure out how to do, and I'm very excited to break it down for you guys and show you what I learned. We're gonna do most of this with noise, and I'm using a rock displacement texture. Same for the normal map here. I'm specifically RD textures to get this look. But we're gonna try and switch it out with some noise later once we build it up to this point. But you guys can probably go to cc0textures.com or texturehaven.com and download like a rock texture, grab the displacement map, grab the normal map, and let me start from scratch right from the beginning with you guys. All right, so I'm gonna save this. If I need to come back to this project file, I'm going to reference it, but you know, there's a lot going on. It looks like a lot, but we're gonna make this easy for y'all. All right. So let's just let's actually talk about what we want to hit, the little steps that we want to hit here. And I'll show you guys kind of briefly a brief overview of this thing here. Let's render region and boom, boom, boom. So what makes this Himalayan salt rock texture special and difficult is a few things. First off, it's the way the light is being bounced around the inside of this thing. I'm actually using like a glass texture with like a medium inside. So think of it as like it's filled with like fog or filled with gas or something, and it's colored to look this way. And inside is also a light, just like my lamps here on the side of me. They have a little tiny light on the inside. So I'm using that light to kind of boost up and get you that glowing look. You also have like the crystallized white surface to it. You know, it's not all just like this opaque rock. It's actually, you know, it has like that white crystal layer to it. So that's being distributed across this thing in a specific way as well. And the one thing that I want to do to this to take it to the next level is actually when I turn the light off here, you can see that it still maintains that color, that pinkish orange color. But what I want to do is when the light turns on, the white areas, those like crystallized areas, I want it to turn them dark, because basically when I turn on my Himalayan salt rock lamp, it turns these white areas right here, it kind of backlights them, and the light is brighter than that crystal surface, and it turns them dark. And also on the inside, you can see like little details, like little pieces of rock on the inside that I want to add to this to make it better. So let's save this. I'm just gonna jump right into a brand new project file and make this with you guys, okay? So the first thing I start with is always a figure, because I want to know how big this thing's gonna be. And let's build a base real quick. So I have a cylinder, and let's just go ahead and make it editable. You can hit NB to bring up your wireframe view. And let's just go ahead and hit T and crunch this thing down and scale it down to about there. That's like the little pedestal. So we know that that is our base piece. Let's go ahead and add a bevel to it. So I'm holding shift, and I'm going to use the Bevel Deformer and just kind of adjust this a little bit, maybe 0.2 or something with 3 subdivisions, 0.3 with 3 subdivisions. Yeah, that feels fine. It's a little low poly, so one thing we can probably do to fix that is just throw it into a subdivision surface, and there you go. It's quick. I'm doing it quick here. Let's make it editable, because why not? So hit C, and then let's move the gizmo down so we can get it right on the ground. I'm going to use the axis center tool, drop the Y all the way down, and just zero out the Y again. So it's sitting right on the ground there. If we had a plane, it's perfectly on the ground. All right, so we want to build basically low poly version of this rock salt lamp. So if I were to turn this off, you guys can see, where is it? Yeah, I kind of baked this down a little bit, but let's start with the low poly version and then we'll go from there. Okay. Come on, C4D, let's go. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna start with another cylinder. We'll scale it down and I'll give it like, 8 sides or something. Rotational segments, 8 rotational segments. And we're gonna just build out the surface for us to put our rock texture onto. We don't need any height segments. We can add those on our own. We'll scale this down and just kind of sit it right here. Let's go ahead and widen this thing out just a bit. Maybe something like that. And we'll scale it up a touch. Sit it right down. C to make it editable. Let's make some cuts. I'm hitting UL. KL rather. I'm hitting KL to get this loop cut going here. And I just want to, UL for loop selection. We can scale this down, or rather, let's grab these polygons up here and we'll scale these guys down. And we can get these guys coming up here. We'll scale these guys down. So this is like your basic kind of salt lamp look. My lamps in particular, they're kind of flat on the sides. So what we can do is take maybe, let's see. Let's go into like a side view or something. Just like this. Top view works. Let's go to point mode. I'm gonna hit 0. I'm gonna grab these edges here and I'm gonna like scale them in towards each other. Let's hit 0 on these guys. Let's scale these in towards each other. And we kind of have like a flat rock look here. I can rotate these a little bit and it doesn't matter too much if things are asymmetrical. That's totally fine because it's a rock. There's going to be a lot of different variation to it. So I'm kind of just doing this low poly version of this thing. And I could even grab this top piece, bring it up a touch. I can grab these 2 pieces, bring them down a little bit. Maybe bring these down a touch. These guys here. And like this could maybe come up or something just a little bit. Yeah, it just has some variation to it. And then we could even do one more cut on the bottom. KL. Boom. And then we could scale in maybe this point here. So scale in some of these side points towards each other just a little bit to get some variation in this thing. Amazing. All right, so this is like our base kind of thing here, right? Let's go ahead and throw a subdivision modifier onto it. So I'm going to hold Alt, click this little button up here, and it's going to throw a little subdivision surface onto it and smooth it out. All right, so from here, what I want to do is, remember I mentioned the rock displacement texture along with the rock normal. I want to get the look of this thing correct. Starting from, I don't want it to glow yet. I just want to get the surface of this thing looking correct without any color or reflection or anything like that. But one thing I will do before I jump into the displacement as a placeholder is use an HDRI image here to light my scene, just to get me a little something. So I'm gonna make an Octane Sky, and I'm using Grayscale Gorilla for all this stuff. They're the best, absolutely the best. HDRI Link Plus, their new Plus service is super solid. Let's go ahead and drag that texture in there. And now we can open the Plus library and just like find whatever we want, Creative Office. Sure, if it looks blown out, it's because it is. You need to go to the image and change the color profile from embedded default to linear, and that'll just normalize things a little bit there. Cool. All right. If you have a camera, again, I'm in Octane. I'm talking about Octane, and I'm just kind of like blowing by the modeling process of this because we want to get to the texturing. That's what we're talking about. And if you're in Blender or Maya or 3ds Max, whatever, follow along with me. Try and make it work. I know it's doable in your program. So the things transition, they all, interwork together. They're all just kind of basic 3D modeling stuff. So let's go ahead and save your scene. Let's call this Rock Salt Stream V1. Amazing. All right, sweet. So you can see it's a little blown out. So with an Octane camera tag on my camera, under Camera Imager, make sure that's checked, and crank highlight compression, and it'll pull that down. It'll save some of those for you. All right. We got 540 people up in this stream. Thanks for joining me, y'all. Good to see you guys. I got my Mushu mug, my Lucky Cricket. And I am excited to show you guys this awesome PBR shader. It's very satisfying, and maybe it'll be like my Andrei Librov little fireflies in the bottle thing. Maybe I'll just always have a CG rock salt lamp in the background. We'll see. Where did I get the mug? I got it from Disneyland. My fiance picked it up for me in Disneyland. I love it very much. Okay, let's keep going. So we want to get the shape of this thing right so that we can throw a texture onto it. Oh, I was in downtown Disney. Correction. There we go. All right, so let's make an Octane material. Honestly, doesn't matter which one, glossy or diffuse, doesn't matter, and apply it to the rock. And I'm just gonna real quick use the Grayscale Gorilla Plus library and grab a wood texture, just to throw onto this like little base piece. So I'll just drag this in and slap it down on this base piece here. Let's go to cubic, and we can, or no, this will be cylindrical. No, it will not. It's going to be cubic. And let's go ahead and just offset this thing a little bit. And let's adjust the roughness. Let's go into that node view, unlink that, and just crank the roughness up. Awesome, that'll work for now. Okay, so let's go ahead into this rock material. Here we go. In fact, I actually have this window docked up here, so I can just kind of hop in. Let's go, bam, and let's get it up in there. And there we go. We can, I never really need to see my model and the texture at the same time. I just kind of see it in my preview window. Bonsai, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bonsai says, been a huge fan since Carbon Warfare 2. That's a long time. You've inspired me to delve into 3D and don't think I'd be where I am without you. Good luck with your movie. Dude, thank you. I hope you learned something on this stream. And yes, I'm very excited for my movie too. I'm working with a writer, Nate Davis, right now. And we actually are going to be talking on Tuesday to figure out characters and what else? Kind of like an outline. We have a general view of the movie, but I'm very excited to get into it. It's going to be good. Yeah, I'm making a movie. That's why I got in all this. That's why I'm doing 3D stuff. It's so I can do 3D for my own movies. What's up, William? Good to see you, man. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I am using, let's see, VFX materials. I'm using RD textures like I told you guys. So let me just navigate to that real quick. RD textures is probably the best textures ever. These things are incredible. And I want to find one that looks and feels right for us. Again, if you guys want free stuff, you can go to texturehaven.com or you can go to cc0textures.com. And let's see. Again, this is just like a placeholder thing. Okay, this works actually. Yeah, this one totally works. So let's go to texture, and I want the 4K depth map as well as the 4K normal map, and I'm going to drag those out into here. The first attempt, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. Say you're actually testing out Vegan by finishing and rendering my attempt at a challenge submission that I never got to finish. I like it. Yeah, dude, it's legit. It's very good. Obviously I had to use it to piece together the video, and I used it to adjust those. I've used it for a while, I guess, because they sponsored a stream a while ago, and I really enjoy it. It's a very cool service. If you guys don't have a computer for 3D, it's a good way to get into it. So I'm going to apply this normal map, and the displacement can't just be piped into displacement. You actually had to have like a bridge node. So this bridges the gap, the displacement node here. So I'm going to pipe that in, and it looks crazy because its height is set to 10 centimeters. And remember, we set this to scale. So I think 3 centimeters will be good for us. The mid-level is basically the grays stay at 0, the blacks go down and the whites go up. And because we chose 4K, we want to choose the 4K texture. And you notice here that we're getting these like seams ripping on the top. They're also ripping a little bit on the bottom, I believe. So there's a couple ways to fix that. Let's set our diffuse to just like a gray so it's a little easier to see. Yeah. And we probably don't need the plane right now. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to make a new HDR environment and set its type to visible. So that's just your visible background. Evan, yo, thanks for the super chat. Just keep doing what you love. Love your work, man. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. And same to you, brother. Same to you as well. Keep up all your passions. Keep working at it. It's going to take us time to get to the point where we want to be, but you're not going to get there if you don't work at it. We got to keep working at it. All right, let's up the amount here. All right, now the seam. We want to take care of this seam. How are we going to do that? A couple ways. So in the displacement node, the type, set it to vertex displacement, and that takes care of the seam there. But you notice that it kind of got a little low poly. That's because the vertex displacement uses the mesh data to displace the polygons. So the more polygons you have, the basically the higher and more detailed the displacement will be. So if we crank this up to say like 4, you can see it's getting more detailed, and 5 is even more detailed. So 5 feels pretty good to me. But the way it's wrapped around this thing is a little janky. So let's see if we can't fix that. I'll do that by changing the projection up here. I'm going to click the material, and let's go down to like cylindrical, I think is what I used for the last one I did. And that looks janky. Let's get rid of this wireframe view, and let's go to this little like texture mode up here. If you click this, you can actually scale it down, crunch it, and kind of get more of a natural look out of this thing. It's got a little, whoa, that's serious. It's got a little butt right there. Let's see if we can't offset it, so it doesn't have that really intense piece there. Let's maybe like push it down or something. And then open this up a little bit and move it up a little bit. And that is starting to look a little bit better and can probably get us where we want to be. It's got a little butt. All right, let's push this thing down. It's the whole rock itself, so it's sitting. Maybe instead of the mid-level as 0.5, let's try the mid-level as 0 and see if that doesn't look a little bit better. I think that looks a little bit better. It's not as intense. So I can push that down so it's sitting on this pedestal. And the pedestal, if we scale it down a little bit, it's like the rock is kind of taking over the pedestal, which I like because that's how mine look. Let's go ahead and do this. By the way, guys, if you guys, the only way I'm able to do this accurately is because I have reference. I'm able to look at these two salt rocks to my left and right and actually use those things as reference and scrutinize it, ask all the questions like, how does this look and how can I translate it to this? I'm giving you guys like the answer basically to the question of how do I do this. But it took, the way I did it myself was just by looking at these rocks, having an understanding of how textures work, which I'm hopefully going to be able to, communicate to you guys on the stream here so that you guys can do this yourself. We got another super chat, don't we? Joseph, thank you, dude. Thanks for the super chat. He says, I'm having a blast following your live streams and excited for your career after Corridor. Keep up the awesome work and thanks for inspiring. Also, what is the 2-finger glove that you wear? That's a good question. This thing is, I guess it's called a hand or pants because it looks like pants, but it's also on my hand. It's a weird name. It's so I don't get like all the oils from my hand over my Wacom tablet when I'm using it. So I use a pen tablet, Wacom, fantastic company. These guys are amazing. And it just helps me glide across the surface of my tablet way smoother. And it kind of, it elongates the duration and the lifespan of the tablet just a little bit more. So it's nice. I like it a lot. Let's get back to it. What GPU am I using? I'm using a Quadro RTX 6000. It's got that 24 gigabytes of VRAM, and honestly would not be able to do my like large projects without it. I'm a big fan. Yeah, enough said. All right, let's hold on one second. All right, we back. Okay, so let's we have a pretty good like placeholder for this rock here. We can adjust this later. But let's dive into the actual like rock texture and start lighting this thing up. This is gonna be fun. All right, so let's save. I'm gonna save an iteration. So Control Shift S to save as, and I'm gonna just do a V2. And let's start this. So, we're gonna have to switch our displacement map here to a, let's see, let's switch it to a specular. So right now, this is just glass. And if I were to make a light and I set the Octane light, I go to its details, the area shape you can set to sphere, and I'm gonna hit T and scale it way down. And there's basically a little light inside of this glass rock thing that is illuminating the rock from the inside. But it obviously doesn't look like where we want to be. So how do we get it there? That's why you guys are here. That's why you clicked on the video. So here's what we have to do. This is like the sauce on it. This is the secret sauce. And this is what takes us like halfway there. It's the medium. You see this medium right here? If I were to go to medium and let's do an absorption and a scattering. All right, what it's doing is basically adding like a fog pass inside of this. If I set the density to 0, it would just be as if, you know, we didn't add anything. So I can go to compare, store render buffer, and let's take the density to 100. And you can see that it's adding this little like fog. It's filling it with stuff, basically. And it's thickening it up. But if I were to take that to like 50, you can see that, you know, it's on the outsides, it's not as thick. But on the center, it's thicker. It's certainly thicker in the center. You can see the light, it doesn't quite reach it all the way through the middle, but on the edges, it's passing through because it has it's a little bit thinner, you know what I mean? So with that, we're able to kind of build out this orange, pinkish, peach kind of feel that fogs up the inside of this rock. Because if you were to look at the reference here, if I turn on the light on this thing, obviously you guys can't see it, but you can see into the rock, which is why I'm using a specular material or a glass material, you know? So if you guys are at this point, if you've made it this far, give me a thumbs up if you're still with me, or if you're just enjoying the video, give me a little smiley face. All right. So let's leave this render, storing the render. Let's go ahead and store this buffer. So we have a new one now, all right? Yeah, y'all are just enjoying the video. We got some people with some thumbs ups hanging out. All right. Very cool. Thank you guys for joining this thing. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. It means a lot. Most of you guys know that I did leave Corridor Digital in order to pursue my YouTube channel and my creative passions full time. So it means a lot that you guys are here. Thank you so much. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good year. I'm very excited. But don't worry, me and the Corridor guys are cool. We got lunch yesterday. We had some beers and some bratwursts. It was a good time. All right. Moving on. So absorption and scattering, that's what we need to mess with. All right, let's take our density back up to 100. And you'll notice that, like, based off of, what's the easiest way to show this? I can probably pull up. Yeah, let me show you guys. So this is where I got yesterday, and I was like, this looks like butt. This looks so bad. But then I got to this point here, which it looks so much better. It looks so much better. This is obviously light on, light off. So hopefully we can bypass this look and just get straight to this, because this looks so good. I'm really proud of how that turned out. And I think I have a video too I can play for you guys. Yeah. So this is like, it's spinning around and is it looping? It's looping, yeah. Yeah, it's spinning around and like lighting up and stuff. Feels really cool. All right. So what was I going to say? Yes, you see how it's like the inside of this thing? Let me see if I can just like make this a little easier for you guys to see here. There we go. Yeah, so the inside of this, it's rough, meaning the light is diffused so that you cannot see the source of the light. Whereas in our current setup, you can see the source of the light. Does that make sense to you guys? So that's going to be fixed with the roughness. Let me just give it some roughness. So let's go to roughness here and just crank it. And you can see how it distributes that light and diffuses that light around this whole thing. So that's a big difference between what we had without the roughness and with the roughness. All right. So let's go ahead and save another render pass so that we can keep doing some fun iterations here. Let's focus on the color, because the color took me a while to get. All right. So let's throw a Rgb spectrum into the absorption. So this is kind of confusing for me, but you're only going to get there when you experiment. So let's change the color on this thing. What if this was like a pinky peach color? It's going to kind of scatter that color around, or absorb that color. I don't know. There's scattering and absorption. I'm still getting the hang of it. Right now it looks like a jellyfish or something. Let's see if I can't. What if I were to change the brightness? So the brightness definitely turns it down. If I go full brightness on it, that gets intense. All right, that gets really intense. Let me also change the color of my light. Let's do like a 3200, so it's more of a warmer situation. Okay. All right, so that's way too intense. But let's see if we can just take down that brightness just a little bit. And maybe go like for a little yellowish, just a touch yellow. And let's add some scattering to it as well. So what happens if we go with like a reddish, pinkish kind of color here? Something bright and saturated. Okay, that kind of looks washed out. You know, we're kind of there. Let's take the light and really give it some light. So I'm cranking that to 300. And that's not bad. Honestly, that is not too shabby right here. It's cool because this like pinkish color up here is not being affected by this light, but it is at the same time, because basically what's happening is anything in this like center point, the hot point of the light, is getting this, you know, this color, your absorption color. And then as it falls off and is still illuminated, it's getting the scattering color. So let's see if we can't lock in these colors a little bit better. William, thank you for the super chat. It's good to see you, man. You say, could you give us some info on the upcoming movie of yours? Great work, by the way, the Pipe Lord. The Prodigy. William's stuff is incredible. Yeah, you do really solid stuff, man. The upcoming movie. So, yeah, I mean, I got into all of this stuff to direct a movie. If you look at my older work on my channel, you'll see all my short films, all my, you know, action movie stuff, my comedy stuff, my VFX based stuff. And, you know, I basically, you know, have been doing this for more than 10 years. Man, I've been in California, back in California for 10 years, but I've been doing shorts for probably 16 years at this point. And there's just so many ideas I have, and I want to do something longer form, because for me, it's very satisfying to tell the story over a longer period of time than just 5 or 6 minutes on YouTube. So I don't know how much I should give out right now. I should probably talk with my writing partner, Nate, and figure out like what can be said. But, you know, I'll give you guys this much. I want to make a movie that has heart, that has drama, that has comedy, action, mystery. You know, I want like the whole shebang, and I want to be able to tell a really fun, exciting, mysterious, beautiful story with heart, and that's character focused and story focused. And I just want to do my best to make it look as good as possible and hit as hard as possible. And I want to work with the best stuntmen and women that I can get on this thing. I want to work with the best actors. I want to get some name actors that you guys probably know. And we want to do it legit. So it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be adventurous. That's another thing. It's going to be adventurous, and it's going to be fun. But it's also going to be a little scary too. I mean, you know, a little scary. So I'll leave it at that. Let's get back to it. William, thanks. I appreciate it, man. And Derek, thank you, sir, for the super chat. No words necessary, dude. I just appreciate you. Okay, so we have our color here. Let me just go back to my previous salt lamp model, and let's see how this is set up. So my absorption and scattering. These are my colors here. Maybe I can copy these guys. Let's see if I can't copy all, just the colors. I just want to get the colors right because they really were dialed in. And I think I cranked the density. Let's go back into this guy. I'm cheating a little bit. All right, I'll paste them in. Boom. So we got our colors. Let's see, what's the difference? So this one's just brighter. Okay, so let's just make it brighter. Oh yeah, that really gets it looking nice. And then my scattering is just a little desaturated, a little more on the red side. So we'll desaturate it a little bit, and we'll get it more to the red side, and we'll see what that does for us. And I think I just need to bring down the brightness of it, and then yeah, we really start to get this look here. Awesome. And it's still a little too saturated. Let me just pipe this one in. And that's, yeah, that like really saturates it up. So it looks to me like, let's see, let's pipe this one in too. A little bit more saturation on that. Just a touch, not too much though. Yeah, it seems to me like the darker you go on the scattering, the more saturated that gets. So we don't want to go that intense. I really dialed these in here. And then I think I had this density up a little bit more. Yeah. So it makes it a little thicker. We can take our light and make it brighter. Just really crank that light. It feels good to me. And we can make the light a little bigger as well. So we can just scale it up a little bit so it's getting a little bit more area on it. And let's move it down. Move it down a little bit and make sure it's centered up. Yeah, we're good. And if for whatever reason that your viewport's like this, you can hit NC and that'll, change your viewport to the point where there's no lights. Look at that difference. So this is us just messing with the color there. So the color is a big difference in this. Now the next main thing that makes up this rock salt lamp is the like crystal residue that you guys can see here. Let me pull this up for you guys. So there's like a crystal residue on this thing, right? It's on the top. It's kind of on the edges of everything, kind of towards the bottom, but it's not across the entire thing. It's just on the edges, really. So I've noticed. So what I'm doing for that is actually using a dirt node. And real quick, let's just turn off the light to see what it looks like without. And that feels pretty good to me. Yeah. You can see how the light passes through it. Let's rotate our HDRI a little bit. You can see how it fills up. It's like a nice subsurface scattering look. It really fills that up. And with the light on, like that's looking really cool. I'm digging this a lot. We can rotate our rock salt lamp to find like a better angle on this thing. And the base feels a little chunky to me. So I'm just gonna adjust that a little bit. Awesome. Daniel, thank you. Yeah, the Stuntman React episodes are really fun. I enjoy them a lot. And yeah, even though I've left Corridor, I'm still going to be there for some of those videos. So don't you guys worry. It's a good time. Let's save an iteration so we can look at all of our work and see how far we've come. So this is looking really cool. I'm digging this. Let's save a render buffer so we can just keep taking track of our work here. All right, so let's do this like crystal layer that makes up the diffuse channel. So as you can see in our specular material, there is no diffuse channel, right? There's just roughness and reflection. So we might actually have to switch to a universal material to get this look, but for the time being, right, so that's just our roughness. For the time being, let's change this to a diffuse texture. Cool. And let me take out, let's take out this here. Let's turn off the light. And let's go to, let's refresh the render. I don't know why it's looking like this. It shouldn't be looking like this. Is it because our diffuse isn't turned up? Let's see. I'm just going to go down the list here and see why it's acting this way. It shouldn't be transmission. The medium is taken off. Maybe this is just like an Octane thing. Is being janky on us. Diffuse, what if I change it to glossy? For whatever reason, that fixes things. Cool. All right. So I'm gonna use a dirt node. The dirt node is fantastic because it allows you to just kind of hit the edges of your model. It makes a nice little mask for us. Let's open this up and let's zoom in. Okay. And let's adjust these settings. So right now we don't really see anything. And the reason I'm piping it into the diffuse channel is just so I can see it. I want to be able to work with these different steps that we're taking in their most basic form. So I'll just make it simple on me, make it quick, pipe it into the diffuse channel without any lights and fancy stuff going on. Just make it easy on yourself. Kind of whittle down the problem. You guys ever have your computer crash on you and it just keeps crashing on you and you have to like, really dilute the issue? What's the issue? You unplug your keyboard, you unplug your tablet, you unplug your monitors until you get it down to just the power cord on your computer. Does that work? If that doesn't work, then it's something inside your computer. You got to keep going further. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just isolating the parts that I'm working on. The strength. All right, let's take the strength to 10 always. That's just so I can see what's going on. The radius we can take to 2 centimeters. Let's take the radius to 10 centimeters. And it doesn't really look like it's doing anything. So let me zoom out just a touch. And let me invert the normal. And maybe crank the details a little bit. I mean, it's doing something. We can see it doing a little something. I basically want this on the edges. That's what the dirt map does. The dirt map says like, let's see. Yeah, the dirt map will hit either the edges or the corners of your stuff. So let's make this displacement really obvious. Let's set the height to like 10. You can see here that it's hitting the edges, all the points that are like sticking out from this thing. If we checked or unchecked invert normal, it's just going to get the crevices. Or is that the other way around? It's kind of a little hard to tell, to be honest. But yeah, I think that's the crevices. And that is the edges. So we want the edges. We want to affect the edges. Let's take the displacement back down to the size that we liked it. Maybe we can go 4 centimeters. Maybe what we do is let's take this texture on here and scale it up a little bit. So it's going to tile less than once. It'll tile 0.8. Yeah, maybe something like that. Cool. So we're just making a mask for ourselves. This mask is going to help. Basically, this will be this dirt node. Let me see if I can explain this. This dirt node is going to differentiate between the Himalayan salt rock that we just made and the crystal layer on top, right? So the black areas will be the crystal layer that we're seeing, and the white areas will just be the lamp from the inside. And I want to crank this a little bit more. Let's bring the spread up. What is it? Maybe it's the distribution up. Yeah, so it's like really getting in there and really like starting to spread around. That feels good to me. Awesome. So that feels pretty good. Let's like rotate around this. Yeah, that's where all like the crystal areas are gonna be. Feels pretty good. Awesome. So from here, let's see if we can just change this back to a universal. No, let's go. Yeah, it's going to have to be a universal material, because this gives us all the options as opposed to glossy or diffuse, which gives us some of the options. This gives us everything. It comes kind of metallic-y by default. So I'm going to take the metallic down to 0. And then we're kind of looking at what we were looking at before. Let's pipe the the medium back in. And it doesn't look normal. It's the albedo that needs to come down. It needs to be 0 albedo, which is basically color. What is happening here? Why is this? Problem solving. That is a huge part what you do as a VFX artist is problem solving all day, all night. All right, so the light turns on. It just looks a little hazy. I think it's because of the albedo. And if we change it to black, so it looks like black. Interesting. Black and white. Pipe this in. So what that's doing is kind of the opposite of what we want. It is showing the lamp. It's the crevices here that are being that have the crystal layer. We want it the opposite. So for whatever reason, this is acting like an alpha. So if I take that off, or if I take this to black, interesting. Jones Lab, what's up, man? Hey, thank you for the super chat. He says, UV unwrap and paint some spaceships soon? Maybe we'll do some spaceships at some point. That'd be like a multi-stream endeavor, though. Sounds like fun. I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you. Okay, let's maybe try. Let's throw an invert on this thing. We're in problem solving mode at this point. Let's throw an invert on it and see what happens. Okay, that's intense. Let's see. What is this? Is white? I don't know if the invert is helping us. What if I uncheck that? Okay, that is going on the edges now. That is on the edges. It's very intense. I want it to kind of fade off, so maybe the details need to come back a little bit. And it's a lot of it happening, so maybe we take the radius to 1. That's kind of doing the inverse of what we want. So maybe the radius is 3, 5, 10. We're just hitting the edges here. Maybe the radius goes to 20. I don't know why it's like it shouldn't have to be this insane. That's just the way it's looking. Now, this is just a white, and I don't like that. So we need to maybe bring this dirt map down to 0. Okay, that does that. But what if I give it an Octane Gradient? The Octane Gradient will allow us to take the whites and turn them to grays and the blacks to dark grays. So if I were to bring this down to a black, it would be as if it wasn't on in the first place. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. We're back to our original setup. Let's go ahead and save this render right here. And let's kind of walk this up a little bit so that we get this crystal-y look over the top of this stuff. All right, that's not bad. We're getting there. It's very subtle. If we go full white, it's just going to be way too much. Looks like snow. I'm going to bring it to like this point here. But I kind of want it to ramp up into a brighter look. So let's see if we can't how would I do this? Maybe I need to clamp it so I crunch it down really intensely. Ooh, okay, that kind of crunches a little bit. Maybe I change this one to white so it gets a little bit brighter. But I only want the areas that are like really bright to be that bright. So I'm gonna crunch it down like this. It's crazy how it's that's affecting it so much. Well, let's take a look and see what I did in my other one here. It's nice to have spent hours and hours and hours on this yesterday, because I got my little answer right here. So this is what we're doing. This is it right here. It's just just the dirt node and the gradient. That's it. I'm gonna copy all this. In fact, let's just copy this over. I don't want to cheat too hard. We'll get there. Let's paste it in and see the difference here. So very intense difference. The gradient, let's just pipe this in and see what it does. And refresh it. Okay. Let's up the subdivision count so it's even more high poly. Whoa! Looks like an alien brain. That's just an error. I know that for sure. Okay, interesting. Interesting. I kind of like what we had before here. I like this look. I can maybe make this a little bit brighter. Now what I want to do is, I think it's like dispersed. Yep. Audio Vision is right on it. It's dispersed a little too much. There's too much of this white crystal layer on top. So I'm going to use a noise map to kind of break it up. But first, shout outs to the first attempt with another super chat. Thank you. Sweet. Awesome. I'm glad Vegan's working. He says, well, I let Vegan do its rendering thing. I'm about to grab a Rocketeer figurine and see about potential part-time dev position. Awesome. Congrats. Congratulations. Very cool. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. Let's grab that noise node. Octane Noise. We'll grab it out here. And let's just pipe it in to the albedo to see what it's doing. I'm going to just crank the contrast to 100. I always do this so I can see what it's doing. And this is great. Yeah, I want to break this up. So, but I don't want it to be in these larger chunks. Let's go ahead and just take the omega to 0.9, which is going to kind of break that up a little bit more. And we can take the octaves to 8, and we'll work the gamma back. So it's just kind of revealing, or it's just pulling away certain parts like so. So what we'll do is we'll multiply these together to essentially take away some of this texture here. Let's pipe this other one in. I like that a little bit better. Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and grab a multiply node, and we'll pipe the multiply node into the albedo. We'll give that the texture 2, and hopefully if we pipe this in, it's only going to kind of show that crystal on certain areas of this thing. So if we take the gamma down, it'll be the full deal basically. But if we take the gamma up, it'll start chipping away at which parts are seen. Let me try inverting this. And I'm slowly just walking the gamma back to reveal that layer. And then let's take this so it's a little bit brighter. We can get rid of these guys. And for the projection on the noise is fine. It's okay. We can leave it as is. Let's just work that gamma. That feels pretty good to me. That's pretty cool. So let's mess with the roughness. Try to take it down to 0. Obviously, it would look like glass, which we don't want. And it's at a pretty nice spot here. If we were to max it out, it'd be something like that. But I like around 0.3 or so, because it's still reflective. It's still catching light. But what I want to do here is actually, let's see. Let's give it some like little reflective pieces, because it does catch the light in a very specific way, and certain parts are super reflective while other parts are a bit more rough. So here's what I'll do. Let's just actually copy, we'll control drag this noise, and we'll pipe it into the albedo, again, just to see what it's doing, okay? Actually, let's right click, solo it, and yeah, we can see it there. So what I'll do here is I want to kind of work this down so we're just getting, let's switch this. So we're just getting these white little pieces that like poke through. Let's take the omega to 0.8, and you can see when you bring the omega down, it just kind of like changes the resolution of it a bit more. And I will adjust the scale. So projection, let's pipe that out to projection node. We'll change it to XYZ to UVW. And we'll just kind of scale this texture down. Yeah, so there's going to be little points where it's really reflective and other points where it looks normal, basically. All right. So we'll pipe this into the roughness. And let's see what it does. And we need to pipe in our albedo. Now right now it's doing the opposite of what we want. This roughness, it's actually shining through and making those little tiny areas that are white. Those are the rough parts, but we want the dark gray to be the rough parts. So what if we were to just invert this? Let me see. I'll just click invert, and it's not really doing what we want it to do. So what I'll do in that case is I'll grab an Octane Gradient, drop it on here, and just flip these parameters. So now we get to that rough look, but certain parts here are actually like shining through and really, kind of, it's not spreading the reflection out, it's focusing it to it's like a mirror almost. But that's looking pretty sweet. Let's rotate around this and see what it looks like. And I can see a little bit of fireflies in here, so I'm going to subtly, in my Octane camera tag under camera imager, I'm just going to bring down that hot pixel removal a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, the wrapping is certainly not ideal up here. Nor is it ideal here on the side. I think that's just the way it is. Maybe if I offset this a little bit. That's really intense. Let me adjust the roughness here. Let's take the black. What if we go full white with the black? All right, that takes away our little highlights. But what if we go full black with the white? Okay, that brings everything back in. So I just kind of want to crank this up a little bit so it's not super intense. And we can bring this down a bit too so it's not as reflective. Another thing you can do here is do a coating layer. So under coating layer, you can give it a little bit, basically. Crank that up, and over top everything, it gives it like a layer of like slime or gloss or something. And there is kind of this like coating over top of everything on this lamp. So I can crank that a little bit and give it a little roughness to kind of break it up just a little bit. And that's a really cool thing that you can do with universal materials in Octane. Artem, yo, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. You say, are you going to review challenge entries at the end of the stream? Absolutely. I always do. And I love the strict deadline to finish the image in 1 week only. Yeah, man, me too. I think it's a cool way for you guys to really dive into the work and, you know, get your hands dirty and just get better, you know, at 3D every single week. That's the thing. You got to keep it consistent. So shout outs to all you guys who have consistently done these 3D challenges. I hope you guys have been learning a lot while doing so. Okay. Let me try something crazy. What if I pipe the dirt node into metallic? That looks crazy. What if I pipe the dirt node into transmission? That looks like lava. That's really cool. You get some really cool looks out of this. That's awesome. And we can switch out these textures too for the 8K versions. So I might even just do that. I'm gonna locate it and I'll switch these out. So depth is 8K and normal is also 8K, just to get the highest resolution on these things. Now I'm about at the point here where this is pretty matched up to what I was doing here. I think the only difference is the rock displacement that I'm using. And I actually prefer this one in this thumbnail. So let me see if I can't find it. Let's go window, rock salt. And find, what is this? This is 8, number 8. And we're using, what are we using? 13. All right, let's locate 8. I'm feeling 8. That's a good one. Texture, depth, let's pipe that in. And same for the normal, we'll pipe that in. These are RD textures. Real displacement textures is what they're called. And that gives us a nice look there. Let's see if we can't bring the displacement down maybe to like 3 or something. That feels a little bit better. Red Beast VFX, my goodness, thank you for the super chat. Very, very kind of you. You say that your streams and tutorials for the robot has been a big help for learning C4D. Is there a chance that you may do some beginner tutorial lessons in a similar vein of Blender Guru's donut tutorial? Yeah, absolutely. Always a chance, man. So I want to do like an intro to C4D maybe like how to set up your own custom UI, and some like 2-minute, 5-minute tutorials. I've been thinking about it. Yeah, I've certainly have been thinking about it. So I got a lot of plans for the channel, a lot of videos I want to do. And that's one of them. So absolutely. I'm glad that you've learned something from all these streams, and that you're continuing to do so. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, man. It's really awesome. All right. Yeah, and you can mess with the shape of this thing any way you want to. Let's go ahead and store the render buffer. And maybe we just need to scale this whole thing down. And maybe it needs to like taper to a point a bit more. So I'm hitting Q to take off the, yeah, so maybe it's more of a, or something like that. And we can make little cuts in here. And just change the shape of this thing a little bit. And we can kind of bring this down to change the shape. Now, for whatever reason, the dirt node is only working on the one side. And I don't know why. Maybe that's just because the lighting? Yeah, I guess it is the lighting. But you're still able to see that stuff even though you don't have the lighting here. So let me turn off this light and just look at this without. It's a little intense. There's too much of it. So I think what we need to do is work our dirt node settings. And the radius maybe can just come down to 1. Is it the distribution? Maybe it's the spread. Yeah, it looks like it's the spread. And what if we just take this to like, tolerance. Do we crank that? It's weird. It's doing the kind of like the opposite of what I want it to do. Maybe the spread. No, spread makes too much of it. What if we change the bias? I don't know what that does. I really don't. We bring the strength back. That's crazy. Oh, snap. Hans, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you for that super chat. You said you've been an inspiration since I was 14. That's 6 years ago. Your determination, motivation, and aspiration is something out of this world. Learning from you feels nothing short of a privilege. CGI has changed my life, and I have you to thank for it. My goodness, man, that is quite the compliment. I don't know how to take that. That is awesome. Yeah, man. I'm it's my pleasure, really. I enjoy doing this. The way I see it is like I'm going to be learning for the rest of my life in all aspects of life. So, why not help out a little bit and share with you guys my process and how I do some of it, at least when it comes to, CGI and filmmaking and all that stuff. So, I'm really glad that I'm able to help and, inspire you to do the stuff that you love doing. So I'll always be here creating cool stuff. So hang out anytime, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for that super chat. It's very, very generous of you. And Christian, I see you too, man. It's been a minute. Yeah, things are going well. Things are going very well. It's very busy. Leaving Corridor and doing my thing has been It's been busy. It's been very, very busy, but I am very happy with my decision, and I can't wait to knock stuff out. I'm trying to get this render challenge going for you guys. Parallel Dimensions 2. I mean, if I call it Parallel Dimensions again, I guess it would still be fitting. But I'm in the process of locking a bunch of really cool prizes, and I have 4 out of 5 locked. You guys are going to be blown away at these prizes. And it's all international too, all right? I want to make it all international for you guys. I want everyone to have a chance to win this stuff. So it's going to be very exciting. Very, very exciting. Yeah, that'll be in the next few weeks. I will be announcing it this month, all right? So, keep watching the videos. Subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed. And you guys will know about this new render challenge coming out very soon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go to my channel. The video that auto plays, the 125 artists create from a prompt, like that's what I'm talking about. We're gonna do another one, and it's gonna be really good. Very excited. But let's hop back in. I appreciate you guys. So let's copy over the dirt node and the gradient from this other one here. I'm just going to copy everything and paste it in. And we're doing the same thing. The settings are just tweaked a little bit more. All right, so let's paste it in. And if you hold shift, it'll take the entire hierarchy with it. So you can see it's the same thing. It's a dirt node with a gradient in through a multiply, with a noise map. And that noise node is just hooked up with basically a projection node and a transform node, just like we did with this one on roughness. So what if we just pipe this in? What would it look like? Yeah, I think it looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more subdued. I think that's just because my spread is down to, my radius and my spread are lowered in this one, which totally works. So I'll take it. All right, let's store this render. And I'm really happy with the color. I'm very happy with the color of this thing. Let's see. That looks like a salmon slab. That's pretty cool. And that's just a glitch. You got to turn on and off your subdivision surface there. Come on, Octane, keep up. What's going on? Let's turn on our light. See what things look like. Octane's getting chunky. That's not good. We may have to restart. What's up, Ricardo? Thank you, man. South Africa, very cool. Maybe one day I'll make it out there. I love traveling. Hans, my goodness. Man, you are tearing it up today. Very nice. Okay, you say, if you don't mind me asking, which tablet are you using? How has it improved your workflow, and are there any cons that you can think of? Have an awesome weekend. Dude, you're the best. Yeah, this thing's great. It is I think it's pronounced Wacom. WACOM. They're like the biggest in the industry. This is an Intuos Pro paper version. Number 4. It's the 4th one. The paper is fine. You can put paper on top of it and draw on the paper, and it'll draw in Photoshop, just like you're actually sketching on paper if you're used to sketching on paper. I don't use it, but just the Intuos Pro 4, or I think they have a 5 at this point, is amazing. This company is great, and if you guys stick around for the render challenge, you maybe there's some cool prizes. That's all I'm gonna say right now. There's some cool prizes, guys. But yeah, I love this thing. It's great. The pen is awesome, and it's a good time. Thank you for that second super chat. That's very, very generous of you, dude. That's great. How has it improved my workflow? The reason I have this thing is because it basically saves my wrist. I got it for health reasons. I didn't want to have carpal tunnel with the mouse for the rest of my life, so I know that I'm going to be doing CG for the rest of my life. At least it'll be an aspect of my creative career. So I wanted to be able to go for longevity and use the tablet because it's healthier on your hand. And I just got really used to it. It's a essential part of my workflow. I love it. It's the best. So yeah, the Wacom Intuos Pro 4. I think they got a 5 out. I'm going to restart Cinema. And just because, Octane's being all janky. So I'm happy to answer any of your guys' questions over the next minute here while this reboots. What tablet would I recommend for Photoshop editing? I mean, this one's great. I really love it. Yeah, it's the medium size. I don't like the huge size, but that's just personal preference. You guys might enjoy that. Let's, bam, open that up. All right. Will I ever try out Blender? Maybe. I get that question so often, but I always say it's like using my right hand versus my left hand. I'm using my right hand right now in C4D, but I don't know. I could spend a lot of time learning how to use my left hand, but I use my right hand. That's just how it is for me, at least. What school did I go to? I went to, let's see. I went to Chino Hills High School for 9th grade, but moved to Atlanta and went to a school called Creekview High School. And I was actually the first graduating class ever in that school. So that was pretty awesome. They just built it, brand new school. And from there, my dad really wanted me to go to college and get a degree, but I really wanted to come out to LA and work with Freddie. But so, we figured it out. I came out and ended up working with Freddie. I dropped out. But I was going to a tech school called Chattahoochee Technical College. They have a few locations. It's just a 2-year technical school, and I got about a year and a half through. They taught Photoshop, After Effects, Illustrator, I think a little bit of Cinema 4D. But I was already, I already knew all those programs at the time because, I was doing Andrew Kramer Video Copilot, and I was doing cgtuts.com and stuff. Because this is my passion. I was doing it in my free time. Okay, let's switch back. All right, we're good. It's working now. Very cool. Let's take this down a little bit. I think it's a little heavy. And let's drop this guy up in here. Whoa, that's looking crazy. Why does Octane have to do this on me every time? It's just like jankiness. Refresh. All right. Yeah, let's just take this down a little bit. So the gradient in the dirt map, if I take this, change it to a black, yeah, that just kind of softens that up a little bit. It's looking nice, looking very, very nice. Cool. All right. This is pretty close. I think the last thing I want to do here is just add some detail on the inside when the light is turned on. I want to be able to see stuff that you can't see when the light is off. But my goodness, Oscar and Kanisi, thank you guys so much for that super chat. That is very, very kind of you guys. So Oscar says, thanks for everything you've done. Been following you since you started Corridor. You inspired me to be better and see you as one of my role models. Man, that is awesome. That is really weird for me to read out loud, but that is awesome. Thank you so much. That is super cool, man. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're learning something. And Kanisi, the super chat, much appreciated, man. You say that you have never seen this kind of lamp in real life, but somehow I know that you're nailing it. Dude, that's great. Thank you, man. If I could pull one of these from my desk and rip it off the wall and hold it right here, I'd show you, but it's connected to the wall, you know, because it's a lamp, you know. And Jones Lab, thank you for the super chat. You say also using a Wacom for 10 plus years. Yep, makes you better artist because the mouse can't do some things well. No pressure / tilt. Yep. There's no pressure or tilt on the mouse, but you can really add pressure and make your pen strokes thicker. You can add tilt to make them a little bit more have an angle to it when you're in Photoshop. And you can roto and mask stuff much faster. It's great. Like, it really is the best. My goodness, Hans. Jeez, dude. Thank you. Wow. I think that's like the most generous super chat I've ever had on this stream ever. Thank you. Man, that is amazing. Thank you so much, dude. Wow. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. All right. All right. Rock on, y'all. Thank you for your support. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, freaking crazy. Yeah, that's insane. Hans is popping off today. Man. So cool. Okay, let's see if we can't get that like detail in the center of this thing. So I'm just gonna render region. And how the heck am I gonna do this? Here's an idea. Here's a crazy idea. What if I duplicate this material, scale it down, and I give it a new material. So it's going to be, let's solo it. Let's solo the material. Turn that off. And I want this to actually have, I'm going to make a whole new material. It'll be a diffuse material. Let's apply that diffuse material to that new rock that we just scaled down. And let's actually duplicate the material we have. And I'm going to tweak it. We'll apply this new material to the scaled down rock on the inside. And we'll refresh. All right. Now what I want to do here is I can lose the albedo. I don't need it. I basically want to make like a little star field on the inside. I can lose the roughness. I don't need it. I can even lose the normal map. I don't need it. And I can lose the scattering. I don't need it. I just need this base kind of layer of displacement on top here so that the star field on the inside kind of, is at different levels on this thing. So let me see if I can't how do I want to do this? Would it be under opacity? Let's just bring out a noise node. Octane Noise in opacity. Let's set the contrast to 100. And let's take the omega to point. Let's just take it to 1. Okay, so it's doing a little something here. Let's take the gamma all the way. Yeah, here we go. So now it's kind of like lighting up just tiny little pieces here. See, it's like a little star field that it's lighting up on the inside. Now maybe that's too intense. Maybe it's 0.9 and the octaves go to like 8 or something. And then we walk this back. And I'm gonna set it to like chips or something. And I want to take these and make them... I want to make them red. But it's still, we're still not there. We're still not there. I need to like give it, I need to crunch this down even more. I think it's the scale. I'm gonna give it projection and I'm gonna give it transform. Let's take the projection to XYZ to UVW so it wraps normally, and let's scale it way up to like 10. And I want to crunch this down with a gradient so it's just black and white. There's not really any gray. I'll crank the black. Yeah, you see that? So it's just like these little pieces. And then from there, we'll take the gamma and we'll work it so that... Yeah, okay, and then we'll take the transform down to 5. So we're getting a little something like that, okay. I need to probably scale this down further, so 2, perhaps. Take the omega to 1 again. That's starting to feel pretty good. Let's take the omega, or the gamma down even more. So I want less things showing up. 0.8. And maybe we scale it down 1 more. Yeah, so we're getting some stuff on the inside like that. Okay. So the albedo, let's change the color to a red, like a really intense red. Kind of dark brown maybe. A deep brown. And let's turn on our original lamp and see if we can't see that stuff through it. We'll render a region. And I don't really see it. Oh my god. Dude, what the heck? Mr. Hans Hauser Bosch. Again. Wow. Dude, you are ridiculous. You said you were using the wrong YouTube channel. Whoops. Cheers from Nova Scotia. Dude, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is insane. Jeez, man. Yeah, definitely you have the record here for the most super chats by far. That is incredible. And Nova Scotia, I feel like I've been, I don't know exactly where. I've been to Calgary and I've been to Toronto, but maybe Nova Scotia is, I know there's like chunks of Canada. So maybe that's in there somewhere. Cool place. Very cool place. My goodness, dude. That is insane. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Me and my fiance will get a nice dinner on you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Mr. Hans G. Yes, he is indeed. All right. That's freaking sweet. Okay. I can buy a bunch of salt rock lamps now. That's sick. All right, so let's see here. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it on the inside. And that coating layer, I'm not a fan of. So let's take that coating layer off. Because it's not really doing what I want it to do. But it's not the coating layer. Weird. Dude, he says get a haircut too. My God, dude. You are ridiculous. Thank you so much. This isn't good enough for you? What if I just like just come back like this? I used to have the little hair clip. I'm almost at hair clip status now. It's been a minute. But yes, I do need a haircut. I do need a proper chair too. I'm on a living room chair. But don't worry, y'all cut it out. Too much. Thank you so much, man. That's incredible. Yeah, we're sitting down. The standing streams are rough on me. Those are intense. All right, let's do this. Let's get this thing popping off. I don't know what happened to my roughness. I guess it's hitting like, it's this light gray. It's this little corner piece up here. Cool, cool. Yeah, I'm not seeing these guys on the inside, so maybe I need to scale it up a little bit more. So it's like right up in there. Okay, so it's causing this weird look here. It doesn't need to be a universal material. I think it just needs to be a diffuse. That I can... What is it? Why is it doing that? Maybe because... Maybe because... I wonder if I give it like a surface imperfection. Oh, dude, Kevin, you were there for that? The time I did 10 or 20 jump squats every time I got a super chat? That was the worst. I will never do that ever again. I like straight up injured my knee the next day from that. That was so dumb. I forget which one it was. But it's in the vault somewhere. All right, problem solving. How do I get... Why is this looking... It's making it look all glossy and weird. I just need this little piece. If I can get this right. Maybe I just need to scale it down more. Noller, thank you for the super chat. You say, what made me decide to make this? I really like the randomization that can be done. Cheers from Buffalo. So I have two of them next to me, and I love looking at them. They're beautiful. The light from the inside, it looks like there's a galaxy inside of it. It's so cool. So that's why I wanted to do this. This is tough. This is very tough. It's a very difficult material to create. But we're almost there. I just want to get this look on the inside. Maybe it's me just needing to mess with our original. Let's try hiding that duplicate and just trying to mess with the original. I wonder if it's in roughness, or maybe it's in... What would make it look like there's like stuff on the inside of this thing? Would it be transmission? What if I gave a bump map or a noise map to transmission? Octane Noise. Let's give it a projection and transform. XYZ to UVW for noise always. It really spreads it out nicely. And we'll give it a contrast of 100 always. This is actually working for us. You see how it looks like it's going, like parts of it looks like it's going into it a little bit more, but other parts look like it's right on the surface. That's exactly what we want. So let me try upping this, the omega to 0.8, maybe to 1, and octaves to 8. Perhaps. And the contrast we can bring down to like 20. That actually looks like there's something in there. It's pretty cool. Let's take the noise and basically want like little chips. Maybe we set it to chips. and we invert it. Contrast 100. Let's just kind of take this back, or we could even do circular. 8 and 0.9. Dude, Mr. Hans Hauser Bosch. Ridiculous. Killing it. Dude, you're breathtaking. What the heck? My God. This guy's popping off. That's like 250. This is like $250. Dude. What the heck? Maybe even more. Dude, you're insane. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I got a full screen for that. Thank you. Thank you. You're killing it. What the heck? Never had it like this. That's crazy, man. Thank you so much. Wow. Buy a Zen garden now. Yeah, dude, totally. That's so sick, dude. Thank you so much, man. Oh yeah, this is what we want. This is exactly what we want. Look at that. Let's take the gamma either up or down. Yeah, okay. Maybe, yeah, let's scale it down, 0.2. So we're getting these little chips that you only really see when the light gets turned on. So let's turn that off there. You're only seeing it when the light gets turned on. But you are seeing it here. So how would that work? It's very intense. Maybe it's just like the contrast needs to come down. And we need to change the color of it. So let's give it an Octane Gradient. And let's just change it to one color. Let's see what it looks like as one color. And we set it to like, actually no, we need black and white. We need both. Johan. One of those is probably correct. Thank you, dude. That's awesome, man. Much appreciated for that super chat. No text necessary, huh? Just straight up helping your boy out, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Freaking awesome. And we're getting that look, dude. It looks like there's something in there. Let's keep messing with it. I think the contrast, we need to, I want to have more of them. So maybe it's the gamma going up to like 1.5. But you see how it's not broken up enough. So the omega needs to go to 1, octaves to 10. And maybe we crunch this a little bit and render regions so we can just work faster. Crank the black up. Crank the white. So we really get like some specks in there. And let's take the transform to 0.1. So we have a little bit more of those things. It's more detailed. And let's see if we can't adjust the color. Oh my goodness. Mr. Hans Hauser Bosch. Setting records, dude. My God. Everyone friggin' shout outs to this guy. What the heck, man? You're crazy. He says you have to study for finals now. Go study, dude. What are you even doing? But thank you for the awesome content. Keep being awesome. Keep rocking that haircut. Got you. And hope you have a great weekend. You are killing it, guys. Shout outs for this guy, man. Seriously, thank you so much, Mr. Hans Hauser Bosch. You have single-handedly set the record for the most super chats ever in a live stream. You're the best. I hope to see you next week, dude. That's crazy. People are losing their minds up in here. Yeah, seriously. My God. William, I don't think he knows the difference between a chat and a super chat. Crazy. Freaking nuts. Wow, man. This is I mean, I want to have like party poppers for this, like just a string I pull and it all comes raining down or something. That's awesome, man. Thank you, Hans. You're amazing. Very generous person. Seriously, that's insane. Rock on, dude. Study for those finals. Knock it out. I'm floored. Thank you so much. You're the best. dang. That's crazy, huh, guys? Cygenius. Thank you as well. Thank you for the super chat, man. You're great. They make the center concave from the bottom like the real one. Ooh, I could, but I don't know if it'd help us too much. Let's get back into it. You know, we got the look of it here, you know. We got the look of it looking pretty nice right here. Let me see though if I can't take this black to a like a light gray or something, so it's a little bit more subtle in there. It's just breaking that up nice. What if I take the white down to a gray? Okay, we don't want that. We want that to be fully white. But this gray, maybe we take to a red, brownish red. Will that change the color? Let's find out. If we go blue, will it look blue? It will. Okay, good. So that means we can take it to a brownish red, orangish color, a dark red, something like that. So you're seeing these little specks from the inside there. And if we turn off the light, hopefully they're not too recognizable. Yeah, they kind of reveal themselves as the light gets turned on. You really see them when the light gets turned on. The last thing I want to do here to wrap this out is have this white crystal crust layer kind of turn dark when the light turns on. You see how they just kind of go invisible? I want them to turn dark. So how are we going to do this? I think here, let me real quick before we do that. Let me throw in a multiply and a float node to control the intensity of this transmission here. If I set it to 1, it looks about the same. If I set it to 0, it should be gone. Nope. Okay, it's doing something we don't want it to do. We can just delete that. And I'll just take this closer to a white, I guess. Yeah, so we get some pieces in there, like red pieces on the inside. And we can take the light and turn up the intensity, maybe 1,000. Willig, I gotta react to the donations, man. I got to, you know? It'd be rude not to. And they catch my eye, certainly, when I see them over here on the side. You know, can't answer all the questions. It'd be rude to ignore the super chats, that's for sure. But I see it. What am I doing with the money? I don't know. I'll probably get a nice dinner with my fiance and maybe buy an office chair or something. We'll see. Anthony, one hello for you. What's up, my guy? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Have I heard of Aces? Yes, I've heard of Aces. I don't really use it. Aces linear. Not really doing anything right now for me. I do use it sometimes, but not all the times. I need to like get used to it here in my workflow. What was I going to do? Let's try one last thing. Let's try another noise node. Let's bring it down here. Let's pipe it into the transmission. And let's see if we can't get some streaky things going here. I want some like side streaks. Maybe we take the transform, we unhook those, we go 10 and 10, and we go 0.1 to make it like really streaky, which you get in these rocks here. And let's take that and scale it up and rotate it like 30 degrees. One of these will work, I promise. There you go. Yeah, and then I want to give it, I only want this to be visible in the center and not the sides. So for that, I'm going to use a fall off node. This is when we're getting into uncharted waters here. Fall off. That's going to basically say, you know, whatever on the outside is going to be visible and whatever's on the inside is not going to be visible. But for us, we want, let's see, let's mix this with a multiply. We'll pipe that in, we'll pipe the fall off in, and pipe that in the transmission, and we'll see what it does. Not doing what we want. So let's invert the fall off by changing these two guys. Is that doing what we want? No, it's doing the opposite of what we want. So maybe what I need to do is switch that up. Maybe it's an add? Is it an add? So we're adding the noise and the fall off together into the transmission. No, that's not doing it either. I want it to be invisible on the sides. Do we invert the noise? No, that's not doing it for us. Let's see. This is a tricky one, huh? Looks like it's taking it away in the middle, but I think that's just by default. That's what it looks like by default. Let's try taking those up to 1,000. Yeah, that's what it looks more like that in the rock salt lamp. It's more like streaky like that. So you guys are saying, have you tried Davinci Resolve? I love Davinci. It's the best. And I've been texturing for a while, says Ricardo. Would love to get into modeling. What program would you recommend I start with? Whatever you want, honestly. Like, if you don't have a 3D modeling program, then Blender is certainly free. So it's a good way to jump in. But if you're messing with textures, maybe you're in a program that already does 3D modeling. So give it a shot. Yeah, give it a shot. Try Blender. It's free. There's a lot of good tutorials for it. Otherwise, I love C4D. Or honestly, no. Stop. Don't listen to me. Listen to this part. Fusion 360. Get Fusion 360. Learn that. You're going to model easily in Fusion 360. And it's free as well. So, Fusion 360. That's what you want. Okay. So, I only want this visible in the center. Only in the center. So, I have to invert this. But it's not doing what I want it to do. Maybe I... Let's try a gradient, an Octane Gradient. And let's go ahead and crunch it. That's only visible in the center. Okay. Really only visible in the center, yeah. And then it kind of falls off. Now if I switch these, this goes to white, and this goes to black, will it do what we want? Kind of. Kind of, yeah. I'll crunch that in. It's only visible from the center. Maybe this white comes down to like a gray or something. And then let's see if we can't multiply this. 1, and then this noise node goes in there, and we go to the transmission. Gah! Still janky. Why? I feel like everything's backwards and upside down. Try flipping them. That doesn't work either. Maybe an add node could work. Did that work? I feel like it kind of worked. change this to white. Where are those streaks at? Is this the opposite of what I want? Do I switch this back again? There we go. My goodness, finally. So it's not on the edges, but it's in the center, and it looks good. Let's take this white down to a light gray so that those are just visible. Barely visible. Cool. And we want to combine these. So here's what I'm doing. This is what I did. I use a fall off node and a gradient to crunch it down, and then I used an add to mix that streaky noise with it. So it's only being seen in the center. And maybe take that back up to a white. Cool. And then let's go ahead and mix these together. And I think it's going to be with a multiply node. So I want the stars and the streaks together. So let's try a multiply node. See if this works. And it does. It does. Yes, it does. Awesome. That's super cool. I dig it. It looks really nice. We can take the contrast down to 10. Really subtle on those streaks there. And the last thing I wanted to do was try and get the like white crystal to turn dark when we turn the light on. So for whatever reason, the white crystal is kind of like disappearing. Let's see if I can't hop back out. Save my stuff. That looks crazy. And we can delete that. We don't need that. That's looking really cool. I want to take my roughness up a little bit too, probably. And maybe just kind of skinny up this rock a little bit. And maybe even adjust the shape of this. Scale all this down towards itself. Do something like that maybe. Looks pretty darn cool. Maybe we can scale the light down a touch. And maybe just our, that's a lot, huh? Going into the transmission. Let's adjust the medium over here. Maybe it's a little saturated here. This dark one is a little bit saturated, so I'll make it a little bit brighter. And we'll take the roughness and I'm probably gonna just lose this and mess with the roughness on its own here. Let's crank it. That's pretty freaking cool. I like that a lot. Let's give it a little look here. We'll go portrait 400 and take that down. That looks awesome. Very cool. I'm really happy with that. Let me rotate the environment around. It's kind of backlit. That's really sweet. That's great. Yeah, I'm a big fan. How do we get the little crystal layers to turn dark? That's the last thing. I'll try it. I'll spend 5 minutes on this. So by default, okay. This is looking like this here. And if I plug in, let's go to the albedo. And if we take it to black, it goes away for some reason. It doesn't change the color. That's so strange. Well, that looks pretty sweet. That looks pretty sweet. So it's the fact that it's glass. I might have to just do a mixed material in order to get this look correct. Let me try a mixed material. I think that might work. Right now, this is what we got. Let's go ahead and save this. We'll store the render. And then let's go ahead and make a, what do we want to make? A glossy material. Let's make a glossy material. And let's apply this glossy material to our rock. And we want to give it the same displacement and the same normal, okay? So we'll copy these two guys and paste them into our glossy material. We're building up a second material so that we can use a mixed material in order to get these pieces. Now, why it is shining through, I have no idea, and why it's acting differently and looking differently, I have no idea. So maybe we do it the other way. Maybe we just copy, holding control, our original material. And let's give it the same. Oh, it's because it doesn't have the same properties. All right, yeah. So I'll control drag this material and then just replace it by dragging and dropping. So now we should have this new material. If we delete all this stuff, we should just be left. If I refresh it, hopefully. Yep, there we go. Now we're good. Now what I want to do is change this to a glossy material. So we'll go to basic, we'll change it to a glossy one. We'll zoom in on here. Oh, also, your black and white images. Change the type to float and you'll save some VRAM. So it's using it as a color, but it's black and white, so you don't need it. Now from here, let's go ahead and really boost up the index. Let's set it to like 5. And let's do, what if we set it to 1? It's just chrome. That doesn't look right. So maybe it's just like 2 or something. So it's a little bit more reflective than your average glossy material. And let's change the diffuse color. Why is it white, but when it's set to black, I don't understand. Rgb Spectrum. We'll change it to a, what if we change it to black? All right, so it works. Change it to an off, just kind of like a grayish. Now what we want to do is combine these two with a mixed material. So let's do a new mixed material. We'll open this up. I'll drag in this material we just made by holding Shift. I can move the whole thing. Delete the float texture. Let's pipe this into material 1, and material 2 we'll drag into our scene as well. And let's just kind of drag this in. We'll pipe this into material 2. And let's apply this mixed material, bam, to our model. And we'll refresh our scene. See what we got. Okay, so mixed materials don't really apply the displacement. So what we'll need to do is take this displacement layer here and pipe it in to the mixed material itself. Okay, that looks normal. Don't need to worry about this. Let's just use the displacement on the mixed material. Now, we're almost there. Let's take this albedo setup with the dirt node and everything. Let's take this, and instead of piping it into this rock texture, let's pipe it in to the amount on the mixed material. And if I'm lucky, it'll do exactly the effect I want, and it will actually darken up those crystal spots when the light is turned on. What the heck? Okay. Huh. Let's keep it simple. Let's just try the dirt node. And it looks like it's not doing anything. Let's solo the node. Interesting. Let me make a brand new one. A new dirt node, just so that we have a base. Make sure that we don't like have any issues that are carrying over from the old one. We'll set the strength to 10. We'll set the radius to 2. We will, let's see, distribution, spread, what do we want? Details. We want to take this dirt node, let's see, and crank the spread, crank the distribution. Why is it not working? Interesting. Sometimes I just like to refresh Octane to make sure it's working properly. Why is it not black and white? It's gray. Let's throw an Octane Gradient into it and see if we can't boost those colors. So strange. I don't get it. Do I need to reverse these textures? Material 1, material 2. No, I'm not on an old material. I have it applied. It's definitely applied here. Oh, wait a second. Oh, it looks like I need let's see, Albedo. There we go. There we go. Okay. Right now it looks exactly the same, which is totally fine. But why is it just... I don't understand why that dirt node is like not... Crank this. It's just acting very strange. I think it's because of the displacement map on the actual... It's working off the displacement map. There we go. So you see how it's darkening up these areas here instead of making them invisible? Does that make sense to you guys? You see how, like, when the light is on, it's darkening up these bits on the like dark side of it. But it's just a little heavy. So I think what we can do, let's take the gradient down. And instead of black, it's like a dark gray. Yeah, you see how it gets that a little bit in there. Cool. So we take that into the multiply here, so it's not being applied to the whole thing. Try that into the amount. Very interesting. You know, it was fine as is, but we're in uncharted waters. So hopefully this isn't too boring for y'all, because this is just me problem solving at this point. All right. Bonsai, I see you. Thank you for the super chat. You're saying, are there any tips for staying fit while having a profession which requires you to sit in one place for long periods of time? Absolutely, man. Yoga. Freaking love yoga. I love getting out and rock climbing. I'm a drummer as well. And I love to run as well. So those are all good things that I enjoy doing that help me personally. But yoga is very important. It gets the blood flowing, and it gets, the healing blood to all the right places. I actually am a certified yoga teacher. Did you guys know that? I bet you didn't. Yeah. I am certified in yin yoga, which is like the slow moving, deep stretch kind of yoga. I love it. It helps me a lot. And Thomas, I see you too, man. You say, I feel like the shader seems to always be one node away from becoming lava. Yeah, a little bit. But thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate you. This one's tough. This one is very tough. I feel like we basically had it on the last one. Let me check my reference video. Let's see if I can't see my reference video and see if this worked out. Renders. I mean, it looks good. It looks really good. Maybe I'm just saying that. I don't know. I'll give it one last. Looks really solid. And I think I think it looks even better now that we did that like diffusion stuff. But man, this one's really stumping me. I don't know why it's not working properly. Maybe I have to invert this noise if I want that to work properly. Like, that's the look for sure. Caesar LG. Hey, stick around, man. Stick around. I promise it'll be worth. It'll be worth. I see you, though. Thank you for the super chat. You say you always are inspiring me every week, and I've learned so much, man. That's awesome, dude. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, we're going to review this art in like 10 minutes. I promise. Oh man, that feels pretty darn good to me. It's just the light side now is like a little much. MSSR Media, thank you for the super chat. You guys are freaking great today. Thank you so much. You don't know much about advanced 3D shaders, but this material looks sick, dude. Yeah, heck yeah, thank you. I'm really proud of it. I'm happy with how it's turning out. I just feel like it's a little much on this side here. It's a little too bright. If I turn off this light, yeah, you just see there's too much of it going on. And I think I just need to, oh my God, Hans, Mr. Hans is back. Jeez, dude. Yeah, maybe I'll do a yoga stream. Probably not. But maybe I'll start a channel where I just do yoga videos. Who knows? Mr. Hans, I thought you were studying for your class, dude. Yeah, I thought he was gonna study. Freaking crazy, man. He's back. Thank you so much. That's amazing. All right, we're almost done here. We're almost done. Man, we are almost finished. I just need to chill out this dirt map a little bit. It's crazy. That feels a little better. Maybe the strength can come down. And the distribution maybe can come down, and the spread. You see, I feel like the spread is necessary because that just looks better. Straight up, that just looks nicer. The radius. Yes. It's the radius. 0.25 maybe? And perhaps instead of a diffuse, maybe it is a specular. As well here. Yeah. And then let's see, the roughness maybe comes to 0. Maybe not 0. Maybe it comes up a little bit. But that is not half bad. Let's take that roughness up a little bit more so it's not really reflective. Awesome. That is not bad. That is not bad at all. Maybe, let's see. Yeah, mixing some noise into it would be nice so that not all the peaks are white. I agree. That's what I was trying to do up here. So let's see if I can't do that as a last final step. All right, so let's grab some noise here. Let's do a little bit of Octane Noise. And we'll set the contrast to 100. And let's bust out some projection. We'll set this to XYZ to UVW and the transform. Let's scale it down. But let's just see if this works for us for a second. Let's see. Yeah, maybe let's take this down to 0.5 or something. And then use a multiply node to see if we can't get this to work. So let's pipe texture, that dirt node into texture 2. Let's pipe that into the amount. And that looks like it's not working. Yeah, we want to do, maybe it's an add. Maybe we need to add it. There we go. See, that's taking away the chunks now. So now we just need to, work on this piece so it's working properly for us. Unsolo. Patrick, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Totally not appropriate, but thank you for the super chat. GTJ, yo, thank you, sir. Very, very appreciative of you, man. Keep killing it. I will. We're almost done here. We're going to knock this one out. It's looking really good. So we just need to dial this piece in here. Let's take this up to like 0.9. And we'll take the scale down to 0.1 maybe. Nah, that's too much. Let's go 8. On that, and we'll go omega 0.8, and the scale I think needs to come back up to 0.5, 0.35 maybe. Yeah, maybe something like that. And then let's try inverting it, and let's see what that looks like. All right, and maybe as a final tweak, let's adjust the color a little bit. It's a little on the red side, and I want to get more to the orange-pink side of things. So let's do... let's see here. Wow, that's really stretched out. Why is it so stretched? One thing you can do is select all this stuff, right-click, and hit Auto Arrange Selected. And that'll group things up a little bit easier for us. And we can hit Shift and pick up these little pieces. Totally looks like steak now. Yeah, it definitely looks like steak. Mr. Hans again, dude. My God. Jeez, man, we are at $744. That is huge. That is an all-time high. Absolutely amazing. So Mr. Hans, you say, my girlfriend wants to get into CGI. We want to do weekly challenges ourselves to improve on our skills. What advice can you give for beginners? He's watching this with me, by the way. Okay, so, I mean, if you're part of my Discord server, then you would know that there's weekly challenges every single week. And probably the easiest way to get in, this is for everybody. If you guys are on a budget, I always recommend Blender because it's free. But if you have a budget, a small budget, then I love C4D. It's my personal preference. I stream with it every single week. So you could either look into Blender, download it for free, see how you feel, and if you're feeling good and you would like to make an investment into another program, then I'd have to recommend C4D. It's great. I love it. Otherwise, keep going with Blender, whatever works for you. But those are two that you guys should look into. And join the weekly challenges. There's endless tutorials on my channel and the internet in general, right? So the weekly challenges are a really good way to stay consistent with things. And it's kind of based on the person, based off of preference, how much you want to dive into things. You can make it as difficult on yourself as you like, or, just tackle a small little thing. But yeah, again, thank you for that super chat. You're killing it, dude. Okay, so we have this little meat steak thing. Very interesting material. What were we doing? We were adjusting. The heck were we adjusting? We're basically finished with this thing. And why does it look like a steak? Oh, the displacement disappeared. Maybe we undo that. Yeah. Oh, we were messing with the color. Okay, so let's come in here and let's just change this maybe more to orangish kind of a look, especially here. Maybe not as saturated. Bring down some of that saturation. And it still needs to be a bit more pink. So maybe we bring up this brightness on that and maybe go more towards the orange. It's not bad. And what does it look like with the light? Oh no, what happened? Oh, it's because we changed it to we changed this to sorry. I start to lose my mind by the end of this thing. We changed it to a specular material. Let's just change it to a glossy material. And that'll be a bit more on target there on the back side of this thing. That feels pretty good to me. Maybe we take the diffuse of this down just a little bit. So we do an Rgb spectrum to a light gray. Maybe we give it a little color. Just a little bit. And that looks pretty cool to me. Maybe we can take down this little streak in here just a little bit. It's a little intense. So I think that streak is, what's working that streak? John, yo, thank you, man. Thank you. I like the keep it up, the little keep it up emoji thing. That's cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. We're right at the end here. This is looking really good to me. I'm feeling good with this. And then we're going to get into the art review. Thank you guys for sticking with me for so long. We've had 530 people popping off with us here. And Johannes, I think Johannes Smedberg, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, man. It's very generous of you. So he says, a bit out of nowhere, would be cool seeing you do a wallpaper engine background combining techniques you have learned. Love your stuff. A wallpaper engine background. That'd be pretty sweet. Very sweet. I love me some good wallpaper, so that would be a fun one. Frozen Cheetah and John, y'all are killing it. Guys, thank you so much. This stream is the craziest stream I've done ever. The super chats are killing it today. So Frozen, you mentioned rock climbing. What's your highest grade you've scaled? Jackie Chan to Stuntman React. Let's go. Yeah, let's get him on there, dude. So yeah, the furthest I've got was a V7 for bouldering, and then for top roping, I think like a 512A. No, A is harder or D is harder? 511, like the hardest 511 I've done, and I think one of the easiest 512s I've done. Basically, I don't know. I freaking love rock climbing. It's great. Outdoor ropes is the best. I hope to go next week. I think on Friday I'm gonna go with a friend here and with my buddy Cliff, who is working in Blender. He pops on the stream sometimes. But let's wrap it out. Let's wrap it out and get into this. Look how good this looks. I'm really happy with it. I just want to take down the intensity of that streak. That's it. That's the last thing I want to do. So that's going to be probably in here. What if I take that black to a light gray? No? Yes. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So I only want to see it when you turn on the light. But yeah, I don't know if we can get that far. It looks really nice with that light. It feels super cool. And maybe we can like give this thing some cuts. Let's see if we can't do like edge loops on this thing. I don't know why it's looking like it's looking. Can I get this? Yeah, like a cut there. Sharpen it up a little bit. Maybe a cut there to sharpen it up there. Same for the bottom piece. And you can, just change the shape of this however you guys want. And this is our rock. It's looking really good. I think it's better than when we started the stream. So if I were to pull up the reference for y'all, where we started and where we left off, like this still looks really good. Pop it into the background and it looks amazing. But I think this one here has a bit more detail in the center that I really enjoy. So I hope you guys are able to follow along with me and make some cool stuff. If we wanted to pop this thing onto a background, it's very simple. All I'm going to be doing here is just, doing a little grayscale gorilla psych here. And we'll scale that down. And let's wrap it around here. And get rid of our render. And let's maybe center this thing up a little bit. Looks really cool. And I know it looks like it's floating here on the... Actually, floating. Could be really cool. A little floating rock. And then, yeah, I'm just using like a Grayscale Gorilla Plus library. This thing's the friggin' best. And I'll just type in cloth and grab this red cloth that they have. I'll drop it onto that psych and change it to whatever color you want. In this case, let me see if I can wrap this HDRI around. This looks so good. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And we'll just change this to a blue because I think it goes well with this background here. But oh, by the way, here's a good tip. If you guys can't see anything in node view, just go to view and then hit frame all and it'll show your stuff. And I'll just do a little RGB spectrum in here and we can change this to whatever color we want. So like a blue or something. John and me be man, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the super chats. So cool. So freaking cool. So John says, can't wait for the day we get to see your movie. All the experiences you guys have had the years. Looking forward to that big milestone. You're definitely an inspiration for 3D artists, man. Thank you so much. I'm excited for my movie. And it's going to be so cool. I cannot wait to show you guys. It's just going to be tough, like writing the thing and then getting it funded. That's going to be the hardest part. Obviously, making the movie is going to be really difficult too. Movie making is some of the hardest. I mean, just making short films, right? Speaking from experience on the short film side of things, it is some of the hardest work I've ever done. It's very laborious, long hours, a lot of stress. And, but in the end, it pays off. It definitely pays off. For me, the more I put into my short films, in this case, my movie moving forward, the more satisfying it is to watch it in the end. Like all of that hard work is boiled down to one movie. It's the best. Me B man, thank you. You're awesome. I love you. Appreciate it. And Hans Hauser, dude, you're just dropping these things like it's nothing, man. Thank you so much. You're blowing my mind here. You say it looks impressive. The other account won't let you super chat anymore. Oh my god, that's crazy. You've been cut off, dude. Straight up cut off. That's insane. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you very, very much. Yeah, this thing looks great, doesn't it? I'm very happy with how this turned out. Maybe we can give it some post-processing, a little bit of glow. Crank the glare power on it and get that cutoff going. So just at the source, there's a nice little glow in there. That's pretty cool. We can change the color of the floor to a yellow if we want. You know, a fun color like that. But it's not really contrasting well. Maybe it's like a minty green or something. That's kind of cool. But I dig the blue look. I wonder if maybe like a purple could be cool. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I really think that's cool. Yeah, it looks really good. Okay, so let's go ahead and render this thing. And move it up a little bit and just have it floating and hovering on this. I'm not going to render it here on the stream, obviously, because that's going to take time. But make sure when you animate your light or your crystal here, put the crystal and the light in a null object together. That way when you move it up and down, the light tracks with it. And it looks really nice. Cool. All right, guys. So we're basically at the point here where we've completed our material. And pretty soon here, I'm going to have a way for you guys to download all this stuff for free. You can just take these materials and do whatever you want with them pretty soon. I'm working on it. There's a lot of plans, a lot of things I got to do here. But I want to get that going for you guys. But yeah, I think it's time for a little art review. If you guys want to see some of the best renders from this week's weekly challenge, then stick around. I'm going to just take a 2-minute break, grab some water, maybe a cookie, come back here, and we're going to take a look at the best 5 renders from the Steampunk Challenge. It's going to be awesome, and I got some honorable mentions to show you guys as well. So bear with me. I will be back in like 2 minutes. Don't move your butts. Hans, I don't know what to say anymore, dude. You're crazy. You're crazy. Thank you so much for all these super chats. You're making my day here. I'm getting a new chair because of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in a second. Peace. 2 minutes. we're jumping into it. All right, we're doing the art review, okay? Hans is off his rocker. He's popping off right now. I appreciate you. Freaking crazy. So I hope you guys enjoy these pieces of art here. It was a really cool challenge. We had like 156 submissions this week. So freaking cool. You guys are blowing my minds. And you're doing cool stuff constantly. So keep up the good work. We got some new winners here this week who have not won a weekly challenge. And of course, we have some people who have won who've won in the past. But regardless, all of them are fantastic renders. So if you guys win the challenge this week, as you know, you guys are going to be awarded with the challenge winner role in Discord. So you're going to be up on the top right. People see you. They know that you're winning challenges and that you're doing good work. So it's just a little small reward for you guys. So let's just hop in with the first one here. Right off the bat, here we go. Bam! Caesar LG. Congratulations. I told you to stick around. I told you it'd be worth it. You're killing it, man. You're freaking killing it. This is really well done. Your rendering quality is fantastic. Your lighting is really nice. Your textures are incredible. There's like a little dust and particulate in the air. You got nice little film grain on it and stuff and some fog. Dude, you're firing on all cylinders on this one, man. Congratulations. You deserve it. John, also, I see you. Thank you for that super chat. It means a lot. We're at an all-time high with super chats on this stream, and you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. But yeah, I love the save for later note on the spine. I think that's really cool. I love the gear on the skull here with the mohawk going. Really, really sick. Really nice. And it's subtle. It's a subtle steampunk vibe. I like that you did that. I think it's really cool. Melanie, yo, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. I hope you're doing better. I hope your day is going all right. You say you're a bit late to the stream, but I'm sure it has been amazing so far. It has been amazing. It has been a crazy one. Like, lots of support from people on the stream here, and we made some really cool stuff. Let me show you actually really quick. Made this rock salt lamp, and it looks so good. I'm so happy with how it turned out. So I'm gonna model that and or animate it and post it up on the Discord, maybe on my Instagram or something. But let's get back to that review. So Caesar LG, you're winning that Discord challenge winner server role. All right, your name's gonna be up in lights. It'll be up in there. So congratulations to you, brother. Maybe you're not here. Maybe you're not in the stream anymore, but you'll definitely know. In due time, you will know. So who do we got next? Let's figure that out. It's a good question. Bam! One dead duck. You're putting out work that is solid constantly. We got Casey Edwards up in the house. What's up, Casey? Good to see you. We're going to drop something off for you a little later today. All right. Good to see you, man. But yeah, one dead duck, putting out solid work. Totally reminds me of some like BioShock. I love it. I think it's really good. Your rendering is always solid. Your characters are really, really well done here. And I love all the detail that went into this, like the gauge on her chest and like the barcode tattoo, super creepy, and the thing in her cheek is disgusting. But you did some really solid work here. Very well done and very deserving of the challenge winner role that you will get for this week. Hang on to it, all right? So your name will stay up there on the Discord server. All right, what else do we got? Number 3, boom! Herr Zettel, which I learned was Mr. Zettel from Cliff. He took German class. This one makes me laugh, dude. I love it. Like, it's a great render. It's really funny. And yeah, it's just a goofy time. I love the volumetric smoke sim you got up there coming out the back. It's really funny. I like it a lot. You got some subtle animation of the character. It's good, man. Really, really funny stuff. So congratulations, Mr. Zettel. You're going to win the challenge winner role this week. Get your name up in the lights on the Discord server. Keep it up. Keep doing your thing. I see your renders. They're really good. All right. Who do we got next? We got 2 more for you guys. 2 more winners. Last but not least. No, this isn't last. Second to last but not least. is YaCGMD. Not YaCGMod. It's YaCGMD. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. Look how crazy this is. It's all from scratch. Isn't that unbelievable? The rendering quality is insane. The only thing that I could nitpick is the smoke. You know, if it was just volumetric smoke, that'd be amazing. But that's getting into the weeds. Like, this is incredible, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Elry Talent, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. You say that you're working with a character skin, but the color comes from a matte of low-res PNG. How crazy is it to assign colors with that? Let me see if I can make sense of this. You're working with character skin, but the color comes from a matte of low-res PNG. How crazy is it to assign colors with that? Well, maybe try just like an RGB Spectrum or just like a texture color or something. If it looks good, it looks good. You know, that's the end of the day. If it looks good, it looks good. But anyway, YaCGMD, congratulations to you, man. This is an insane render. You're getting better and better. You came out of the woodwork like a few months ago and just winning these challenges, man, left and right. Your stuff is so good. I really appreciate you. Keep doing good stuff. Keep helping the community. And keep putting out these good renders. Yeah. It's on a crazy level this week. It really is. Now, this next one for you guys, very, very happy this person won. But I have to preface that if you guys have, what is it? You don't want to get a seizure, all right? If you don't want to get a seizure, just bear with me on this one. Because it's a little back and forth. You know, there's some lights popping off. So get ready. Hang on your butts. Because Noodlechan is the winner, the final winner with this video here. I love this one. Yep, Deeran said it. Yeah, this is great. I love the samurai with this theme coming out. Like, it's so cool. Look how cool that is. So sick. I love it. Noodlechan, congratulations. You deserve it this week, man. Killer work. Very killer work. Absolutely amazing. All right, one more time. Watch yourself. Watch your eyes. You guys get seizures, hang on your butts. It cools off towards the end when you see the final. But yeah, man, this is amazing. I love it. Really good work by Noodle. I love the character. Really good good character art here. Super cool. Congratulations, Noodlechan, and to the rest of y'all who have won this challenge. You guys are getting the challenge winner roll this week on the server. The link is in the description. Y'all are amazing. And before we call it quits, I got about 10 honorable mentions I want to get into because, you know, as usual, you guys are doing solid stuff and you're very close. If you made the challenge winner, if you made the honorable mentions, that means you are in consideration for the top 5, okay? And if you're not in the honorable mentions, keep it up. You'll get there, I promise. Just keep working on your stuff. But let's take a couple. Let's take a look at some of these. This one here is absolutely beautiful, and it reminds me of a video game called Dishonored. It's one of my favorite games, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, this one was very close to winning. Very, very close to winning. You know, it's tough with the camera moves because you got to move that camera in the perfect way. I think your first shot is perfect. Your second shot, I feel like, could pan over to a character on the rooftop. Right here. Pan over, boom, character on the rooftop. That would have, like, really set the tone for me. Going to the train, close up on the train. I don't know. I know that the focus is the train. But maybe if you focus more on the environment and the... Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one to say. Like, it feels cinematic all the way to this point right here. Like, the camera movement is a little too free. to be in like a movie kind of world. That's just personal preference, okay? So don't worry about it. I think your render's awesome. That's why you're the first one on the honorable mentions. Next up, we got Aaron Howski with this cool render. I like this one a lot. Really creepy. It looks like a watch spider clock thingy. I love it. It's really well done, and it's animated nicely. I think you did a good job with like the joints and the IK going on. I think it looked really, really good. So keep it up. You're getting there. You guys are getting close. We got Trung Du Young. I don't know if I said that right. This is a cool one. The only gripe I have about this one is that it's just like it's a little plain. I think it's just your background. I think you probably could have went for a more interesting background. But I love the design on this. I really, really enjoy the design on this. And I think that the work that you put in to create this dragonfly is really cool. So solid work on that. Absolutely solid work on that. The rendering quality, it's all great. It's all perfect. I just think you need that background, maybe a little bit more intense depth of field. And it would have taken over the edge for me. Pars V3L. We got you with this like crazy brain machine. I don't know what this is, but it looks really cool. Your rendering quality is good. You got this brain in a case. And yeah, like I don't know, this looks really cool. You did a really good job creating this and putting this together. So congratulations for making the honorable mentions. I just wanted to shout you out. Kimmy Yo. This is a cool one. I like this character piece. It kind of reminds me of something Visual would do. Visual's always putting out really cool character stuff, solid render quality, and like this feels like that to me. So this is really awesome. I just wanted to shout this out. I think that your character is a really good one. I like the design. I like the arm. Got a little story going on here with this character. So shout outs to you. Folio is next with this cool hammer. I like your design. I love your rendering quality and your background. Like just you integrated everything perfectly. It looks really, really good. I like this one a lot. Yeah, your textures are solid. Literally everything here is solid, and I like the steam coming out of the hammer. It's a really nice touch that you've added. I think it looks really great. Bayou Bongo is next with this Jimmy Neutron style render. This one came close. I like this one a lot. I like what you did here. Your rendering quality is fantastic. I assume you downloaded the Jimmy Neutron model, and maybe you modeled the dog. That'd be really cool. But really cool work here, doing like a different take on the show. I thought that was really awesome. Who else are we? Got Zach 4K with a samurai render. I love me some samurai stuff. This is really cool. Totally reminds me of like Dishonored 2 when you sneak into the big mansion party. They got some party going on. Then you got the motorcycle on the left. I feel like the motorcycle could be a little bit more involved in the shot. It's hard. It's kind of like just out of frame. Cool stuff with the blimps. I dig the blimps. And overall, I like the vibe. I think it's really cool. So keep it up, Zach. I see you, man. Keep doing your thing. All right. What else do we got? Traco. This one made me laugh, dude. This is awesome. I love the character. I love the world that you put him in. The motion, I feel everything. Like it looks great. I really like this one, man. So you guys are getting really close with your stuff. You're involving story. That's the secret sauce. Is the story. You want to include story in your renders. That's what sets people's renders apart from others. Sometimes it's just like an object, which, hey, don't get me wrong. Stuff like this, it's really, really good. There's a little story going on with the background, with the pictures on the wall. Or one like this. There's a story in the sense that like it's interesting, but something like this, there's a little bit more of a story going on. Like I just have a lot of questions. Who is this guy? What's he doing? Yeah, it's interesting to me. It's very interesting. So not that those other renders were bad because it didn't have story. They could just be better given more story, right? That's always the goal, is to go with more story. All right, we got NASA Camera next. Fantastic render quality. Again, this reminds me of like a visual style piece. Who puts out amazing characters all the time. And your hair shader is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I just wish you'd include a little bit more of the character. It's hard to see. It looks like just a head and a hand. But it is cool because it looks like someone who took the picture is trying to sneak a shot because they're hiding behind a lot of stuff in the foreground. But I really liked this one. It came very close to winning. And if you know, just keep it up, keep doing your thing, and you'll get there. Looks really good. We have 3 more. All right, Joshua rocks with this amazing pocket watch render. Looks absolutely beautiful. You know, just like all these other renders here, this one is rendered perfectly, lit perfectly. You know, it kind of alludes to a bigger, more interesting world. I like that a lot. I wonder who owns this thing. I wonder what that key goes to. Definitely has my interest piqued. So I think it's very good, Joshua. Congrats for the honorable mention. Keep doing your thing. You're very close. Bashel. This one is super cool. A really cool character. I dig it. It's just not very, like, when I see this, I don't think steampunk. So that's like one of the first thing I check is does it check off the challenge? When I look at this, do I think steampunk? It's close, you know, it's close, but it's a little bit more like Princess Mononoke, a little bit. Maybe you were inspired by that. Let's go full screen on this thing, because there's a really cool thing that you did here with the fur and the hair on like the side of this cloth, poking out, catching the light really nicely. It looks super cool. Very, very solid work here. So congrats, Bashel. That's a good one. Really good one. And Armored Cabbage, finally, with this really, really cool like gas mask kind of thing. Very nice render quality. Very nice design. Very nice lighting and rendering. You should be very proud of yourself. It looks really good. Yeah. And that's it, guys. That's it for the challenge winners this week. To Noodle and to Mr. Zettel. And I'm really pushing myself to memorize all these now. Yaw CGMD and a couple other people. Congrats, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thanks for putting in all the good work. So now this brings us to the point where we're at the end of the stream and we have to figure out what the new challenge is for this week, okay? So what do you guys want to do for the weekly challenge this week? We got ideas, you know, like we obviously did a crystal thing in C4D, and this is where I start losing my mind here because it's the end of a stream, but we got some stuff, all right? We got geology, that could be interesting. Space, I think have we done space? I feel like we've done space before. Caesar, yes, thanks for the reminder. Thanks for winning, dude. Appreciate you, man. I'm glad that you're able to pop in here and see that you won. Congratulations. Super cool. Galaxy, negative space could be very interesting. That'd be a good one on framing. I like that. Horror, we did horror. That was a Halloween one. Japan. Man, maybe not bad. Ian Hubert style, I don't know. Maybe. I want to have Ian on. Maybe we'll do it. We'll do it then, and he'll do it. Self-portrait. Oh, okay. So that's what we did over at Corridor. That was actually really cool. What do you guys think about a self-portrait one? Yes or no? Self-portrait challenge. What do you guys think? Just give me a simple yes or no, and we can judge it based off of that. Lots of no's. Why? Why? Too difficult? Too difficult for you guys? Interesting. Okay, let's go back to the suggestions here, guys. Let's go back to the suggestions. Do you guys like picking the weekly challenge here, Or would you prefer that I have just like 3 options for you that you vote on immediately? I'm curious about that as well. So okay, so back to it. I like negative space, is pretty sweet. Zen is a cool one. Down for that. Zombies. John, I see you. Indiana Jones challenge. Indiana Jones could be interesting. Maybe like adventure or something. So it's a bit more broad. We could do adventure. We could do negative space. Oh man, Chernobyl. That'd be intense. Caesar. Tim Burton would be cool. I see you. Tim Burton challenge. That would be pretty sweet. We could do between Tim Burton, negative space, and what was the one that you recommended? What was the Tim Burton, negative space, and adventure? What do you guys think about those 3? Tim Burton, negative space, and adventure. I'm going to start a straw poll really quick. I'm going to start a straw poll for you guys. And see if we can't get this challenge figured out. I like doing it here with you guys live. All right, so we have for the weekly challenge, we have negative space, which would be a really good challenge on your framing and composition. We have, okay, hold on. We have adventure, which is a bit more broad, but I like it. We have Tim Burton, and one more. Vikings. Marvel. Okay, visual. Yeah, you called it Marvel. All right, guys, chill out on the suggestions because I'm going to post a link for you guys right now. I want you to go here and I just want you to vote, okay? You got 1 vote. Whichever one wins between these 4 will be the weekly challenge. All right. So ease up on the suggestions so you guys can see my link here. And let me create this for you guys really quick. Let's create the poll and let's share it. We got a link for you guys. And go for that, all right? Boom, right there. Go to that link and get your vote in. And I'm going to call it in 1 minute. You have 1 minute to get your vote in. $50 seconds. $40 seconds. Get your votes in, guys. You don't see the link. It's just up here in the chat. Thanks, Darren. Appreciate you. Your boy Gabe, man, it's there. So just look up. I don't think you can pin. Can you pin stuff in chat? Pin message. Yes, you can. All right, is that it? I'll give you guys like 30 more seconds. Hans. Freaking Hans, man. You're ridiculous. We are literally almost at $1,000. That is insane. We're $8 away. Goodness. You're crazy. The votes are in, guys. We got 218 votes. That's half of you. So that means I hope to see 218 submissions. Is that what you guys are telling me? All right. 225. It looks like I'm going to go live here. John, thanks for pushing it over the edge. Holy crap. 1K in super chats. That is unbelievable. That's ridiculous. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for making that a thing. I'm getting a chair. I'm getting my fiance a chair, and we're gonna go and get some steak or something. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. But the jury has spoken, and it looks like it's gonna be negative space. Right, you guys chose it, negative space. That means you just gotta Google negative space if you don't know what it is. No, that's lame, I'll tell you. All right, so negative space is basically, what's the best, let me just Google it and I'll show you guys. I'll give you an example. It's basically the space in an image you don't fill. Let's see, negative space. Cinematography, negative space cinematography. Yeah, all right, let's show you guys this. So you got some negative space here in this image. This is all negative space. All of this area here is negative space. Matthias, yo, thank you, sir. How about a little more? Absolutely, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Absolutely incredible. Here's more negative space for you. This is all negative space here on the side. Sai Sharon, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, me too, man. This is all negative space, right? Your focus is here, negative space on the side. Wow, this is a beautiful image. Absolutely beautiful image. All this is negative space. This is all negative space on the side. You guys are getting the idea, right? Negative space here in the back. It's a really cool way to work with your framing and come up with some cool options that aren't, textbook. Here's another one, negative space on the back side. So really try and dig into it, guys. Do a bit of little research on negative space. You're probably gonna get a lot of articles on cinematography and whatnot. Dig into them. Learn about the camera angles that make something look and feel a certain way. So that's what you guys should learn here during this challenge. Obviously, you're gonna render and create some cool stuff, but really, this is a composition challenge. How do you place the objects in your scene in such a way to give a really cool feeling and a cool framing to the objects and the story that you want to tell, to the feeling you want to give off, right? So we're getting into a little bit of cinematography this week, which is great because I think a lot of y'all, including myself, need it, all right? The cooler your camera angle, the cooler everything else is, So instead of just popping a shot on just like, boom, center frame, get fancy with it, have fun with it, and do something different. So this will be a good one for you guys. I'm excited. William, I know you're excited. I've seen some of your stuff, man. You got a lot of that going on. But y'all, it's been a good one. I'm gonna bounce out of here. Maybe buy a chair or something. We'll see. But you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'll take 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes here. I'll answer any questions you guys have in like the next 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, that was a good one. I'm really happy with this rock lamp here. This is super cool. I love it a lot. I want to do a little render. That'd be sweet. Change the color maybe a little bit. Get like a nice blue going or something. That feels really good. All right, so just hit me, do the @pwnisher thing here so I can see your questions. Bad Apple, is there any chance of switching to Blender? Nope, no chance. Sorry. I love C4D. Well, you try Paint 3D. I don't know what Paint 3D is, but Substance Painter, I want to get into. John, thank you for the super chat. I see you, man, with the chair. That's great. Mick, how did I get better at drawing? By drawing, man. I just draw and look up videos on YouTube. Lots of good stuff. There's a guy named, shoot, what is his name? I forget his name. It's like how to do pen drawing. how to draw with a pen. Dude's amazing. I forget his name right now. I'm blanking on him. I apologize. But just keep drawing. Draw. Let's see. Ooh, Shot Deck is a good site to see movie shots and filter by keyword. Thank you. Good to know. Try casting light onto the ground from the rock. Okay, I'll try that. Should you invest in a good computer? I don't know. Would it help you on your creative journey in the future? Would it allow you to make more money for yourself? Then maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Or you can try the vegan link in the description. Click that link in the description. It helps me out. It helps me get more sponsors. It's a good time. Makes them happy. Makes me happy. Click the link down below, guys. Check out Vegan. It's really cool. It's a cloud-based supercomputer. If you don't have a bunch of money to buy a supercomputer, is basically what it is. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. What else? Can I stream Blender with Peter? I'll bring Peter back, absolutely, but I probably won't be in Blender though. I'll be in C4D. What's the story behind my name? Great question. So when I was in high school, middle school, me and my friends, we loved a show called Pure Ownage, spelled Pure Ponage. It's the first web series I ever seen. It's where the term boom headshot came from. FPS Doug, good friend of mine. He was in Carbon Warfare 2. Yeah, those guys are all awesome. Pure Ownage, best show ever. And we had like a little wrestling after school. We'd get together and wrestle. And we all had names based on, the pwn kind of little handle, the little name. And one guy was the Grandmaster Pwn, and then you had the Pwnerer, and then I was the pwnisher. So that's how I got that name. Are you looking for story creators? I don't know rendering, but I'm into writing stories and premises. Right now, I'm working with a writer on my movie, so currently not. But that doesn't mean I will never be. So keep writing, keep pushing forward on your craft, and maybe in the future there'll be a place for us to do something cool together. Will I sell the salt rock as an NFT for charity? I don't know. I'm working on my next NFT right now. It's going to be a bigger environment scene. I want to get that out pretty soon. Maybe I'll do some salt rock thing with the singing bowls or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Not quite sure. You graduated from college with a film degree. Always said I wanted to be a VFX artist. Should I focus on modeling right now or do more composition and element work like energy stuff? That's really up to you. Let's see, I lost your chat there for a second. Hold on. Where'd it go? Lost your chat. Anyway, yeah, focus on whatever you think that you need to get better at that you enjoy. It comes down to just enjoying what you're doing, okay? If you're not enjoying what you're doing, then it's going to be really hard to continue doing it. So just for me, I would focus on the tutorials that I really loved doing. That's about all I can say, you can also look at what kind of things would be needed in your field. Like if you're trying to do simulations or lighting, rendering, modeling, all that stuff comes to a point where you're going to need to know how to do all that stuff. But just focus on the little pieces that you enjoy. Really follow that and you'll be good. What else do we got? Super chat. Sai Sharon, thank you. You say, is there any good resources to get better with materials that helped you, or is it just by experience? So it's always an element of just messing around with things, tinkering and seeing what does what. That's the best way to learn. But you do that in conjunction with tutorials. So literally YouTube, anything you want is gonna be there. You guys know I do stuff with Skillshare. So Skillshare is also a great resource to look up tutorials and stuff if you want to get more of a paid thing, doing a paid thing. For me on Cinema 4D, I love Grayscale Gorilla. I love their stuff so much. I use it all the time. Then you also have guys like David Ariev, Octane Jesus, right? Back in the beginning, he posted on iDesign. I like your eyeball, design, iDesign. So I learned a lot of Octane pretty much all through David, is how I learned Octane and stuff. So Those are some good resources. Otherwise, just YouTube it. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. What else? What else? So many questions. Might be all the time we have for, guys. Can I stream with Ian Hubert? Yes, I do. I do want to stream with Ian Hubert. I just need to ask him first, but I think he'd say yes. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, guys. I think that's about it. I gotta call it. I gotta get some lunch here, but I appreciate y'all. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the super chats. What a day it's been. That was absolutely amazing, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope you guys learned something. I'm really proud of this little rock that we came up with here. I can't wait to render it. It's gonna be awesome. But you guys have a fantastic Saturday. Have a good weekend, and I'll catch you guys live next week on Saturday. Okay? Have a good one, y'all. Peace out. Oh, I'm not gonna end the stream. No, we gotta hit it with the outro.